This is my fourth battle so far, and I thought it was pretty good. Check it out and let me know what you guys think. This battle was pretty fun. I decided to lead with my Rotom Wash here. And I go right for the, I go for the Will-O-The-Wisp, get the burn on the Swampert. You know, lower his physical attack a little bit. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. I go for the Pain Split thinking he was going to do something, but he doesn't. So, I go for the Pain Split on, and it hits his Venusaur. It doesn't do really all that much. I was going to go for the Volt Switch, but I got put to sleep here, which was kind of lame, but whatever, you know, shit happens. So I go to my Foxy Lady, you know, to take this hit, because you know she can. And he goes for the Giga Drain, you know. He got a little bit of healing going on for him, but it wasn't enough. I go for the Wish. He goes for the Power Whip. It hits me pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of surprised by Venusaur's physical power, but I go for the Protect. He goes for the Sleep, even though Sleep Clause is in effect. I guess he didn't know that. I go for the Wish. He goes for his Infernape. And I go for the Protect here because I was hoping that he would go for a fighting move, but he goes for the Flare Blitz, and that's kind of spooked me. Wasn't really sure how to get a Pokemon in and out safely from that thing, so I switched to my Rotom to take the Flare Blitz, which, thank God it wasn't a close combat or something, but he goes for the Flare Blitz. I really thought he was going to kill me, but he goes for the Grass Knot, which was kind of interesting. But whatever, I guess he thought he could kill me, but he didn't. So I go for the Pain Split, and luckily I do wake up, and I get a nice heal from that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then I go for, I go for another Will-O-Wisp. No, I go, okay. Alright, yeah, I go for the Will-O-Wisp and get the burn here. You know, get a little bit of damage on that thing. And you hit me with a Giga Drain, and it did a lot to my Rotom Wash, which was kind of dumb. But, so I send in my Darmanitan, you know, take the next Giga Drain hit real nice, you know, which he does. And, I go for the U-turn. No. Oh yeah, I go for the U-turn, alright. And I switch out, you know, I go to my Rotom Wash, you know. And, I'm pretty happy he didn't go for an attack, really. I go for the Pain Split. And this was kind of silly on his end. He goes for the Earthquake, and, Rotom has Levitate. That's something else I guess he didn't know. But that's alright. So I go for the Hydro Pump, you know, try and get a quick kill. He goes to his Gallade, you know, it hits his Gallade pretty good. And I was kind of upset. He got a really lucky crit here. I really don't think this would have killed me, but it does, so it's alright. Shit happens. Down goes my Rotom Wash. I go to my Spookaho here. And I go for the Shadow Ball, you know, and he switches into his Drapion. Drapion takes it like a champ. I was actually surprised I did that much to it personally, but alright, you know, whatever. I go to my Ferrothorn here. And he goes for the Toxic Spikes, you know, that's alright. I believe I just go right for the Thunder Wave, and he switches out to his, let's see. Oh no, he doesn't switch at all. Alright, he goes for the Fire Fang. You know, did alright. He goes for the Earthquake, you know, Tusk, you know, he can't crack open that Tusk that easily. You know, he just can't. And, I go back to my Umbreon here. You know, whatever. I should have just gone with the Earthquake, to be honest, but I didn't see that as a viable thing for some reason. Looking back, I should have. But I go for the Heal Bell, and, cure whatever poison nonsense was going on. His Swampert takes the burn damage and goes down. He didn't even get to attack. I go for another Protect to see what this Infernape throws at me, and he's going for Flare Blitz again. So I go right to my Tusk to try and take this Flare Blitz. And, you know, he goes for the close combat, which was interesting. You know, he walls it pretty good, but, you know, Tusk is just too slow for this Infernape, and down he goes. And, I got really lucky that he didn't switch here, because I really thought he was, and I thought, you know, it was just a stupid attempt, but I go for the Psychic, and it pays off big time. I land a kill right on his Infernape, so that really does help. And that Infernape was a big problem for my team, for sure. And he sends out this thing, and I'm not really I don't really find these things around that often, so it's kind of scary, and it has a fucking Life Orb, too, which is not cool. But, Yeah, I go for the T-Wave, you know, it hits Drapion. He gets nice and paralyzed, which is good. Then I go for the Protect just to see what this guy throws at me. He goes for the Cross Poison, and I'm like, alright, you know, alright, whatever, I'm just gonna set up, you know. So then I go for the Leech Seed, and he goes for the fucking Fire Fang, and that's, I don't know. I don't know if he thought I was switching or what the shit, but oh well. So I got the Leech Seed off, you know. I'm getting some nice healing going on right there, and I go to my Darmanitan here, and I kind of realize at this point, luckily he got paralyzed too, which kind of really helped this battle. Darmanitan's health's really low. Even if I did go for the Heal Bell and put him back out to try and get the Wish, he would have died. And you know, I was thinking, I just go for the Fire Blitz, you know, regardless of what happens. You know, Darmanitan would have died anyway, so I went for it and it paid off. You know, I killed his Gallade, so. And he goes out to his Venusaur, and I just go right to the Psychic, land a nice kill on his Venusaur. I was pretty happy about that. And he switches out to this thing, and you know, I don't, sadly on choice spec, so I can't, you know, go for the Focus Blast. So I go back to this guy to try and wall this thing a little bit, which you know I do. I go for, let's see, I go for the Thunder Wave. Get this thing nice and slow. He goes for the Mega Horn, and that thing smacked the shit out of my Ferrothorn. I'm not gonna lie. And you know, that thing with the Life Orb is not nice. So I go for the Protect. Try and get a little bit of leftover heals, and I don't know why he didn't just spam Mega Horn, but that was kind of stupid. He could have killed me. But either way, I mean, whatever, it works for me. So I go for the Leech Seed, you know, get some healing out. I just go for a Protect right afterwards, you know. Why the hell not? He goes for the Mega Horn again, and at this point I'm like, regardless, you know, whatever, dude, I'm just gonna kill you here. So I go for the Power Whip. He's sitting at 1% health, and there we just claim each other with spikes, and that was the battle pretty much. I thought it was pretty good, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, that concludes battle number 4. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be making more videos, and I do apologize for using similar music. The way how I get that music is through my emulator, and I have to play through the game a little bit to get some different tunes for you guys. So I will have that for my next video, hopefully. Otherwise, take care, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Later.